Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video I will share some tips to be calm while playing Pubg Mobile. In a game like Pubg Mobile the stakes are very high, since not only are you up against 99 other combatants all out for the same goal, but everything is uncertain. There's never a guarantee of securing a strong weapon or gathering the necessary amount of healing items to survive long game, so the mental pressure only escalates as you get closer to the end game. However, not all is lost in the game of Pub, because with enough preparation, you'll be able to overcome the mental blocks you encounter by simply coming up with solutions to your problems. To help get you started, we'll provide some tips to help overcome your mental block and to successfully become a strong player in Pubg Mobile. 1. Know where you went wrong. A lot of anxiety stems from failing to be in the present moment as you race through the open world and search for lootable items. What tends to happen frequently is that psychologically, your brain is trying to come up with a million ideas in order to keep you alive, but that's what's holding you back. A lot of what goes wrong is overthinking your steps instead of taking things one step at a time, and so analyzing where you went wrong is one of the most effective ways to combat mental block. Knowing where you went wrong is basically knowing your failures and how you can turn those failures into workable solutions over the long term. This could be something as simple as not running out into the open field too much to avoid being a target, or stop running away from the enemy and just fight them head on. So many of us are afraid of losing yet fail to understand that success is what stems from failing, so it's very imperative to fail, fall down and pick yourself back up in order to develop a new perspective. It might be a little hard at first to pinpoint just what areas you're weak in, but with enough observation, you'll slowly pick up on habits that can be fixed to help further your game and provide more confidence in your overall approach. Always ask yourself what you can do better as opposed to finding blame in the game or other players. You can't control the game, nor can you control another human being, but you can surely control your own actions to help instill a more calm and relaxing experience. 2. Create a game plan. Another issue that occurs when playing Pub for newcomers and even experienced players is that many fail to create a game plan prior to going into a game. Most just jump right into the game without properly assessing just how many players are in your game, where you need to go to gather the right tools, and finding an escape route once everything has been collected. This leads to a huge gap in your gameplay, which leaves you open to falling into repetitive patterns and ultimately you dying a lot more than usual. This mental hurdle cripples a lot of players because they seem to think there's something wrong with the mechanics of the game or that other players are cheating, when in reality you just didn't plan accordingly. You find yourself stuck in this flux of constant deaths and frustration, not knowing what to do in order to survive the first 5 minutes of the game. So create a game plan while you're in the waiting area and decide where it is you'd like to go on the island, just what items you'll be looking for, and how you'll survive if enemies target you. Creating this early game plan will take a lot of tension off your mind and allow your mind to develop fresh new ideas as you progress through into the mid to late game. Every stage of the game should always have a game plan implemented because the early game will be nothing like the end game and the end game is nothing like the mid game. When you have the time in game, find a place to hide and start mapping out where you want to go next and make a concrete decision before moving out. Failure to do so will result in you just running around aimlessly without reason, and ultimately it will result in you doing something foolish and putting yourself in a bad position. 3. Be patient. This is perhaps one of the most overlooked principles in just about any position in life, not just in ᴅᴏᴜᴛ's battlegrounds. Patience is often associated with a calm mind, not being easily distracted by the world around you, and having a laser-like focus when there's a task that must be completed. Patience rewards you in so many ways, and yet so many of us are often very rushed and impatient, racing to get things done fast, instead of getting things done efficiently. As we said earlier, anxiety stems from the inability to be in the present moment at all times, and this can lead to other types of behaviors, such as anger or even panic attacks. You fail to assess the problem, which results in shortness of breath, tense shoulders, and just about every other symptom you can possibly think of. Patience, on the other hand, removes all of that because you're able to establish a connection with the present moment, which provides mental clarity and the ability to plan effectively as you play. A lot of problems stem from the failure to question one's own habits and beliefs and stubbornly rely on familiar tactics to tackle issues. This is what causes you to lose control of yourself and start lashing out, which then leads to poor performance and you complaining how bad the game is. The game of Pubg isn't bad at all, it's your bad habits that need to be tweaked, and until they're properly assessed your performance will continue to suffer. So to be patient, all that's needed is to know how to respond to the situation while you wait for your opportunity to arise, and not jump to conclusions when what you want hasn't arrived. The more you develop a habit around this, the easier it will be to overcome mental block, and the more fun you'll have not only in Pubg Mobile but life itself. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. If you have any tips, please leave it in a comment and I'll be happy to read it.